What's going on? Welcome back. Ryan here. I'm so excited because in this video we're talking about the Series 3 license. Now, remember, let's kind of go back in time, right? I had my grandparents who really instilled these values into me. I've had several mentors, but it was my mentor, Eric, who really helped solidify my understanding of this industry by teaching me about commodity brokers, commodity trading advisors, commodity pool operators, and what that means to be an institutional investor or be on a track to then create one of these structures where you can do all of these cool things using options, using futures, and that brings us to the Series 3 license. Now, the Series 3 license is the National Commodities Futures Exam. And if you're trading futures, if you're trading options on futures, if you're trading Forex, if you're trading cryptocurrencies, this is the license that you need to be aware of, that you need to have on your radar, because of what this license allows you to do, should you be able to pass it and then have that sponsor broker. So again, the Series 3 license is just the license, it's just the test, right? And you still need to have that sponsor broker or someone that's backing you, that is giving you an opportunity to come into this industry and to help teach you and allow you to be successful, should you be able to pass this exam, and should you want to do this as your profession, right? So I was very fortunate. Remember, I did not know what a commodity trading advisor was for at least 10 years, right? I had been trading 10 years, and only through that serendipitous situation where I found this mentor, and he believed in me and he taught me so much, and he helped me study for this test. He helped me pass these tests. And then again, he also helped sponsor me to then become an associated person of his CTA. At this very time, I'm not an NFA member. We're going through some internal changes with my mentor's CTA and his structure. And again, this isn't trading advice. This isn't investment advice. I'm not soliciting you for a trading program or to come give me money for some investment, right? I'm just educating you on these licenses and how I can help you study and pass these tests, so that then you have these credentials where you could go out and make the relationship with these broker dealers that can then help you break into this industry, whether you're a trader, a quant, someone in sales, whatever it may be. This is the license that you want to get, where you really have, there's no cap on how far you can go when you're able to utilize this Series 3 license and what you can do, right? So again, remember, I talked about the NFA and just how important this website is. And now let me kind of put this into perspective for you, right? When we talk about really, really famous hedge fund managers, right? Let's talk about Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio, he's worth $20 billion, and he's a billionaire investor and hedge fund manager who has served as co-chief investment officer of the world's largest hedge fund, Bridgewater Associates. Now, when we come into the NFA here, this is so important because it really defines the standards of what makes these people so successful, right? They're not just hedge fund managers, right? They are commodity brokers. And it's through that Series 3 license that he has been able to do what he does, right? So remember, a hedge fund is a business where people come to invest that's uncorrelated to major markets, but people forget that these commodity brokers are able to hedge risk, right? Hedge price risk for any type of business in the real world where they have price risk, right? Whether it's inherent to the business or they have a cash position in some type of commodity, or wherever that price risk lies, it's the commodity broker, commodity trading advisor, commodity pool operator that allows these guys to do what they do. And how do we know this? Well, the great thing about this is all of this information is available for you to look up. So when we come into the NFA, we can come to this basic portal here and we can look this individual up. We can look up Ray Dalio. And we can search and we can see, look, here he is. Bridgewater Associates LP, right? Bridgewater Associates LP, right? It has his different aliases and it shows NFA member approved, right? So when we come in here and we see this, we can see that Ray Dalio has an NFA ID. It shows that he's affiliated with Bridgewater Associates LP. And it shows the history of all of the different entities and things that he's been involved in. And again, it shows all of the different events inside of the system for the different entities and things, right? So you could see here in 1982, principal approved, then he was principal withdrawn, then Bridgewater SA, again, principal approved, going through all of the different registration, right? That the Series 3 license, along with that sponsoring broker, allow you to do. Now, again, getting the Series 3 license is no guarantee that you're going to find a sponsor broker, right? But if you are a determined person and you make it a goal to be in this system, to create these structures, to have your own fund, this is extremely, extremely important, okay? Again, let's look up another guy, David Tepper. Here's David Tepper. David Allen Tepper is an American billionaire hedge fund manager. He is the owner of the Carolina Panthers, and he is the founder and president of Appaloosa Management. Net worth $15.8 billion, right? So again, we can come into the NFA and we can look up David Tepper. Here he is, David Allen Tepper, Appaloosa LP. And again, we can see he has an NFA ID number. We can see who he's affiliated with. We can see all of his history. We can expand the history, right? We can also see that he has no regulatory action. And I don't know how you're feeling, right? I'm not there with you, but when I learned about this, right, which is that all of these billionaire hedge fund managers, right, they're not just hedge fund managers, right? They're commodity brokers. And it's a very important distinction to make, right? Because again, if we bring up this drawing, and again, I'm going to erase this because in these examples, we see that their structures are actually LPs. It's very important to understand that if you want to start a hedge fund and you decide to do a GP LP fund with an LPA PPM, and you do an exemption through the SEC, right, a Reg D, whatever it's going to be, if you're doing the hedge fund route, it's important to understand the distinction that you will not be able to do what David Tepper and Ray Dalio are doing with your type of fund structure, because these guys are commodity brokers. And it's important to know that the commodity broker, these commodity trading advisors, commodity pool operators, by having that Series 3 license, by operating as a commodity broker, they have special things that they're able to do by offering discretion over trading accounts that you're not really able to do the same thing when you operate a GP LP fund with an LPA or a PPM, right? Because when you do that SEC exemption, you can't charge a management fee, right? You have to go and have that RIA advising the general partner on some of these things, and you end up paying him that 2% or whatever that management fee is, as opposed to when you get the Series 3, right? Let's erase this. And when you get that Series 3, right? So you get the Series 3, right? You have your sponsor broker, right? Maybe you'll go work, and I highly advise this, right? Because think about it. I have my license. I have my Series 3 and my Series 30. My mentor is helping me, but I still haven't created my own yet. And there's a reason why. And the reason why is because it's very easy to make mistakes in this industry that will then prevent you from really fully realizing your dream. And it's really important that when we take this step from being a self-employed professional trader, trading our own money, to then wanting to become licensed to have a fund or whatever it is that you want to do, that you really understand all of your options so that you set yourself up for the best chance of success. Now, remember, the classic way is that GP, right, LP structure. But when we, again, look at these top hedge fund managers, we see that while they may incorporate a GP LP structure, they also all have that Series 3 license, which enables their limited partnership, right, to also be classified as a CTA. Let me draw that a little bit better, right? So their corporate structure is now also a CTA, right? Or a CPO, which we're going to talk about in these next videos. And that when doing it this way, they don't need to have an RIA or a prime broker or a custodian or all of these other things you need when you go that exempt route. And that's because the money is kept with an FCM, right, which acts as the custodian. And this LP itself is that registered advisor, right? They have disclosure documents. They have all of these things where now they can charge you that 2% management fee and typically a 20% performance fee. And that is the secret. And maybe not a secret, but because remember, all of this information is out there. It's just very hard to find if you don't have a mentor, if you don't have somebody with experience who really knows what they're doing. Okay, so the Series 3 license, in my opinion, is the most powerful license because of what it allows you to do and the way that these businesses are set up. Okay, so again, I highly recommend that you go and you study and fact check some of these things that I'm telling you, right? Look up these hedge fund managers. Go into this NFA and look them up. See that they all have their Series 3 license, that they're NFA members, that they're commodity trading advisors, commodity pool operators, right? There's so many of them, and this is what's crazy, that it just blows my mind when I look on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook that nobody's talking about this, right? You have people talking about funds, and you have people encouraging people, and I think that's all great, but it's a very important distinction to make, that if you want to rise to be one of these top elite hedge fund managers, right? It's not just a hedge fund. These are licensed commodity brokers that are operating in a special way, and that special way, they're only allowed to do that, by utilizing that Series 3 license. Okay, so let me know what you think. Let me know if this has inspired you. Let me know if this is something you're interested in. Maybe you think, yeah, this is all great, but I don't know. However you feel, wherever you're coming from, I love to hear from you. I love to know your opinions, your doubts, what you're struggling with. And again, you're going to bear witness to me actually doing this. This is part of the reason why I've taken the time to kind of divert from my ultimate goal, right, of utilizing the Series 3, right, having that CTA or that CPO, my fund structure, whatever it is, to kind of divert my time to creating this in-house education platform that not only am I going to be able to help people trade and learn about this, but I'm also going to be able to help you get licensed and potentially help you do this yourself. Now, again, there are no guarantees. I'm not implying or giving any guarantee that you will pass the Series 3 or that you will make a relationship with a broker, right? My Series 3 mentorship program is a highly niche program that is really only open by invite, right? I have put together a rigorous screening process for people that I feel are eligible, that would represent myself and my brand and my company in the right way by helping you achieve this, right? This isn't to say that it's impossible or you can't go out and pursue this on your own, but I have a certain insight to the way that I want to do my business and what I'm creating. And I hope that you understand just how important it is to me that I disclose this to you, right? Because I don't want people to get the wrong idea and think that this is something that's easy. This is something that everybody can do. This is something that everybody should do, right? Because again, I don't know your situation. I don't know your financial situation. I don't know much about you at this very moment, but I want to learn more about you and I want to help you in as many ways as possible. And I feel like my greatest good that I can do for anybody is not only teaching you how to trade, not only exposing these industries and showing you what all of your options are, but encouraging you to pursue these things if it's really in your heart and you really have that desire, right? Because again, this is not something for everybody, right? Not everybody is going to rise to the level of these great fund managers and have the success that these people do, right? Again, the scrutiny of retail traders and these hedge funds and their operations and all that stuff. But again, if you feel like you want to make change, if you feel like you want to take your trading to the next level, please understand and realize that all of these big time hedge fund managers, they're not just hedge fund managers, but they are commodity brokers that are utilizing this Series 3 license. And furthermore, when you are looking at other people in the world and people are giving you advice, or they're making claims about their results, just remember that there is a certain way that these elite people operate, and it's most likely nothing the way that you're seeing from people that aren't licensed. Okay, so again, I love talking about trading and options and hedge funds and commodity brokers. I really love it. I think about this every day. I think about what I'm doing and my goals, and how I can help other people to achieve the same things that I'm doing, that I'm working towards. Because remember, this business and what I'm doing, this is not something that just happens overnight, right? This is not something that you just jump into and it all magically works out, right? It's difficult. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes commitment, right? But if you're committed, if you're patient, if you're able to apply yourself, really the Series 3 offers you the ability to have a career with no limits. And again, I have another webinar for my Series 3 mentorship where I specifically dive into more detail about the Series 3 and how commodity trading is a career with no limits. And again, that leads to a place where you can jump on a 15-minute call with me to discuss how I could help you achieve this and how we can work together. Okay, so again, I hope you found this interesting. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what you find when you go out and you start looking at this stuff and looking it up. I'm really eager to see your responses. And again, I was blown away when I met my mentor and I discovered all this, which is why I really have invested myself not only to getting my Series 3 license, getting my Series 30, but then creating this in-house education platform, the Daily Option, which I'm going to use to not only educate you, but help you become licensed if this is something that you want to do. And again, there are no guarantees in trading, in business, in love, in life, right? Something very important to understand. And again, I hope that you found this interesting. Please reach out, and I will see you in the next video.